Hello everybody, how are you today? I hope you're having a fabulous day. So I'm back for the Creating Your Content mini-series, my three-parter. In parts 1 and 2, we talked about the planning process. Then we talked about making and crafting your content. Today, we're going to be talking about editing your content and getting it ready for publishing. So one of the first things I would always recommend, so you've planned and you've written or you've filmed your content, if you've written it, read it through aloud, end to end. Don't stop. If you've filmed it, watch it end to end. So when I'm watching my video content end to end, I will have my notes in front of me that I made in the planning stage, and I will jot down notes as I watch the video end to end about where things could be cut out, where I could add little diagrams or words on the screen to help the understanding of my message. When you read it out loud, some of the things to watch for are, as you're reading it, are you stumbling over words? That's a bit of a sign that that sentence or that paragraph is not easy to read. So it's a sign to go back and actually have a look at that and potentially make it simpler. You can do that by making it into 2 sentences, taking out words. The other thing to look out for is everything you're saying in your written piece or in your film furthering your message, or are you waffling? I'm a great waffler. I have to really discipline myself. So this is something I always have to look for. So I might mark up things in my written material, or I will make notes when I'm doing an edit on my videos about do I really need that? So there are 2 tips. Read it out loud or watch it end to end. The second thing to look out for is making your sentences shorter. One of the traps that I get into is not making a sentence clear. I'm really tempted to say so or and join everything up when I speak. And I'm making a conscious effort not to do that now. And I just used and twice. But you see my point. The sentence finishes, you have a small chunk of information to process that makes it easier to digest. Think about that in your writing as well. If a sentence is really long, think about making it 2 sentences and making 2 powerful points instead of one meandering story. The other way you can shorten sentences is by removing unnecessary words. Now, I don't mean taking out a and the and those sorts of words. I think grammatically it still needs to work. But you can replace phrases with one word. So saying it is clear that, that's 4 words, can be replaced by clearly, 1 word. And 1 word will get you to your point faster than 4 words will. Also think about how many adjectives you use. I had someone work for me once who always used 2 adjectives in front of things. So one of the pieces of coaching I gave her was choose one. The next tip is make your voice active and make nouns into verbs. So we don't offer solutions, we solve problems. So while offer is an action word, solve's a much more powerful word. The other way of thinking about active versus passive voice is we could say Tom solved the problem. That's active. Or the problem was solved by Tom, which is the passive voice. The active voice is much more powerful in your writing and speaking. If you're using lots of TION words, so solution is one. Lots of words with ism on the end, so specialism. Lots of words with ity on the end, so speciality. So they're all nouns. So convert them into doing words, action words, verbs. So solution becomes solve. Specialism or speciality becomes we specialise. The next point relates to something I mentioned earlier, and that's waffling. Sometimes what we can do is we make a point and then we get locked into this anecdote or story that we think explains the point much better. What I'd say is think about your topic sentence and the point you want to make. Make it once. I've been known to cut out, almost entire paragraphs when I go back and edit written content, and I've cut out anecdotes from videos I've done as well, because I realised that I'm just repeating myself and the point stood on its own the first time I said it without all of the extra detail and the extra storytelling. So that's something to watch out for. My last point here in terms of editing your content is please, 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 please proofread it. Check for typos, check grammar, and check for spelling mistakes. An odd word or a misspelt word, something in the wrong place, really takes my attention, and therefore it takes my attention away from what you are trying to communicate to me. So it may sound like a really boring, unnecessary thing to do, but I promise you, you do not want your reader's attention to be inadvertently moved somewhere else. You want them concentrating on the point you're trying to make. So we've now got our content ready for publishing. We've edited it, we've got it super slick, super clean, and we're ready to go. So what do you do with it then? Always thank the viewer or the reader for spending their time reading or watching your content. Invite feedback on any of your online forums. And my last point is publish. It's lovely to have all of these videos and all of this content secreted away, but don't keep it to yourself. Don't worry about whether it's good enough. Be generous, publish it, share it with people, and let them help you be better, because in sharing where you are, they're learning something from you. So keep sharing, be generous, and make sure you publish your content. So that finishes my little plan, make, edit, and publish mini-series. So just a reminder, there's 3 in the series. I hope this one's been useful, and I hope you'll find the other 2 useful as well. As always, I'd love to hear from you. Please let me know if you have any tips, any feedback, any comments. If you've really enjoyed this video, got some handy things out of it, feel free to share it with others, or to like and subscribe on any of my social media channels. Thank you for tuning in. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this 3-part series with you. Stay tuned for more on telling your story, coming to YouTube sometime soon. Have a fabulous day, everybody. Bye-bye.